Yeah.
This is the battle between the left, the right, the Labor and the Liberal in this room, is that correct?
Absolutely. We are in the Legislative Assembly, so essentially the People's House.
Yes.
So everyone has a state member of parliament. This is where they come during parliamentary sittings and debate and advocate on your behalf and yell at each other in question time. This is it. This is the space. Over there's where the Premier sits. Over there's where the opposition leader sits. Got the Speaker at the back. This is where it all happens.
Labor's on the right,
side, yeah.
and then we've got the Liberal on this side. Hello, Liberal, and hello, Labor. How you doing?
See, we've got more. That's why
You've
we're
got more
going.
numbers.
That's why we're going. Yeah.
For first and foremost, your role as a MP for Leppington. What's your thoughts about being in that position?
Yeah, so obviously Leppington is a new seat. It was created at the previous election in March, and that reflects the fact that Leppington is a growing area. There are thousands of people moving in there, and it needs its own representative, and that's my job. And one of the key things is, along with all that growth, along with all that housing, is to make sure that people get the services and infrastructure they desperately deserve and need.
You're also a Labor whip. With this whip, it kind of looks a bit kinky for my liking in Parliament House. If someone gets naughty or someone steps out of line, do you actually get to use this whip or never work?
I don't use the whip, but
No.
there are times where I'll need to give someone a stern talking to. But as you know, politicians are probably the best behaved occupation.
I debate on that. I definitely debate on that.
So yeah, I'm the government whip.
Yes.
And this is a little sort of symbolic whip that's handed from whip to whip. But I got a little promotion in October. And essentially the role of the whip is to enforce discipline. Make sure that people turn up to vote, to speak, and obviously if people need to take leave, it has to go through me.
So we're here today. We're going to debate with you today now with the hardcore policy. That was a nice question for Nathan. Now let's get to the hard yakka stuff, right?
Okay.
Now, what do you mean here you go? You got the whip. If I say something wrong, you can always put me in my place, right?
That's true.
Now, Nathan, in terms of your government, what's your government doing in terms of supporting local business?
Yeah, look, there's a lot of stuff around local business grants. And also there's a dedicated portal on the government website for small businesses. So grants, forms of assistance, depending on what industry you are, where you're located. There's a lot of stuff there. One of the big things that we did commit to during the last election was to bring domestic manufacturing back onshore.
That's good.
And that obviously has flow-through effects, not just for the organisations that might be, say, building our trains or building our ferries, but down the supply chain, the component makers, and there are a lot of those in Western Sydney, southwestern Sydney. So again, if we build things here, the money stays here, businesses here flourish, and obviously that's really great for the economy.
What's your thoughts? What's your dreams? What's your ambition for the multicultural communities?
Well, it's to see them thrive. We've seen generation after generation of people arrive from different parts in the world, and they've done amazing things, not just for Leppington and the southwest, but for the country as a whole. And so one of my key roles is to make sure that when migrant communities and new arrivals come to Australia, that they have access to the services and opportunities that they can be the very best they can.
So tell me about, for young people who want to aspire to become a politician, do you recommend that?
Look, I think any occupation where you want to serve your community is as high as it gets. It's very noble, and it's a great thing. And it was a calling that I used to work in the private sector, and I had a calling to give back to the community that gave so much to me, and it is a very, very noble cause. One thing I do say to young people when they tell me they want to be a politician is you don't necessarily need to be a politician to be in politics and give back. So you could work for a politician, you could be a speechwriter or a policy advisor. And a lot of the time you end up getting paid more money, and people don't recognise you, which is a good thing. And if you do happen to get into a bit of trouble, you won't end up on the front page of the paper. So in a lot of ways, working behind the scenes is a much more beneficial way for some people. So
I've also got the Southwest Tourism Task Force with us. They're actually on the Labor side there. So what's your thoughts about tourism, and how can we work together to get more tourists down Southwest and the Western area?
Well, the key to that is the airport, isn't it? The government has a real key role in ensuring that the airport's a success and the metropolis is a success. And I've been speaking with my colleagues in the southwest about getting together and working as a group. And one of the key catalysts for success in the southwest is the airport. Once that's up and running in 2026, places like Fairfield or Liverpool or Campbelltown have so much to offer the world in terms of cuisine, in terms of tourist attractions, in terms of so much.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the key things. Yeah.
What is your dreams and your ambition for the next, say, 5 or 10 years?
Look, it's just to see a lot of that infrastructure and good stuff come to Leppington. I guess at the moment it's a bit like play, right? So it's not forming yet, and there's a lot of housing going in. And one of the great benefits of being the member for Leppington is that I'll play a key role in forming that clay into what will end up being a beautiful sculpture.
Love that.
So the key to that is obviously the services and infrastructure, but just as important is working with the community and finding out what they want and how they want to particularly do things and how they want to come together as a cohesive, thriving, successful community. One of the big things we have committed to is fixing the housing crisis. We know that it's very, very difficult, especially in Sydney, to buy a house these days. So there's a lot of reforms happening around that, and that'll obviously, as a result, you'll see a lot of building activity occur. And if we make some of those materials and we source it locally, then that can only be good.
Okay, it's really good to see that a lot of local MPs supporting tourism, because tourism what's bring the visitor economy to our area and also supporting a local business. Now, you touched base on mental health. I've got Melanie here. She's also, ice bath queen, I call her. She's into the mental health space. How important is it for us to get the message out there to our community that, one, we need to look after Charlotte, and two, ourselves?
Yeah, it's very, very important, and especially in our part of the world where we are a diverse, multicultural community. I know for a lot of people, it's almost taboo to bring up the topic that you do have, some mental health issues and you'd like to speak to someone. So one of the things I've been quite passionate about is ensuring that we do have those pathways and we do have access for people from non-English speaking backgrounds. I think we need to do more in the space of culturally appropriate and language appropriate access to mental health.
So the final message, Nathan, to the multicultural communities, to the local business communities, what would that be today?
This is your house. You are a citizen, you vote, you're as entitled as anyone else to be in this place and to be in this building. So whether that's as a member of parliament or a visitor, please don't be shy, come here and visit it. It's an amazing place with a lot of history and you're key to making this place work in a democracy.
That's amazing, I love that. Thank you. We've got approval for that. And another message, it is Lunar New Year for 2024. Let's get everyone together. We're here today celebrating Lunar New Year in New South Wales Parliament House for the Vietnamese community. Chúc mừng năm mới.
恭喜发财 Happy New Year
Szczęśliwego Nowego Roku.
Nea Sal Mubarak.
Happy New Year. Now the Aussies, Happy New Year.
Oh, wait. Kang Hei Fat Choi.
Cantonese, Kang Hoi Fat Choi. That's right.
Happy New Year.